What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And you've been asking for it. Of the poll I posted a couple of days ago, over 75% of you wanted to see it. So here it is. It's the OnePlus Open versus the Samsung Z Fold 5. I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible. Let's go. Now, before we get into the verses, I should say it's probably in your best interest to stay to the end of the video. I have this brand new Samsung Z Fold 5 half terabyte of storage for sale. I mean literally opened, here's the images, just for this video, and it wasn't even taken outside because it's a miserable day in Scotland today. So this is a once used Samsung Z Fold 5. Stay tuned to the end of the video to hear the price. I also have two Honor Magic V2s, Chinese ROM, but with Google Mobile Services updated inside. I've got a Z Fold 4 for an unbelievably low price. So I'm going to be a bit Dell boy at the end of the video. If you're interested in buying a new device, stay tuned for that. So throughout the months, you have ample footage of me using, reviewing both phones. So this one is going to be fairly short and succinct. I'm going to put them against each other from display and build quality and speakers and cameras and software. But ultimately, you know who's going to win this. The OnePlus Open is the best phone of 2023 in my opinion. What I'm going to try and portray is the reasons why as unbiasedly as possible. So, starting with the overall look, feel and design. So the most obvious place to start for me was the area where this Samsung just has no chance in my opinion. When you're comparing displays, there's almost no comparison. While the Z Fold 5's display looks good, the form factor is just not acceptable. This outer display at 1750 nits is fine, but the aspect ratio, like 18:9, it's like holding a remote control. In fact, here is a remote control. It's really not much wider than that remote, and I just can't deal with it. A lot of people say, yeah, but you can one-handed type and your thumb can get across the whole screen. Yeah, I can one-handed type on this. See, my thumb gets across the whole screen. But I can actually see things on this device, which is important. And I can see the keyboard when I'm typing. The Z Fold 5 just isn't anywhere close. And when we talk about the sharpness of the screen, the OnePlus is sharper. When we talk about the brightness, the OnePlus gets up to 2600 nits. LTPO technology, 10 Hz to 120. In all ways, the display on the OnePlus Open is far superior. Now, when we get to the inner screen, for me, the issue's just exacerbated because 2600 nits, 1750 nits. LTPO3 technology, that's 1 Hz all the way up to 120. Here, 10 Hz up to 120. They're not bad screens on either phone, don't get me wrong. Not much about the Z Fold 5 is actually bad, but foldable devices have come a long way since the type of creases you see and feel on the Z Fold 5. A prime example is the OnePlus Open. Now, granted, the screens are clean, so for all you clean freaks, I'm sorry, but the important part is to look. You can barely see the crease, and when you run your finger across it, you can only ever so slightly feel it. Whereas the Z Fold 5, I mean, well, I don't need to have it in a harsh light. Any viewing angle with the screen off, you can see and more importantly, feel it all the time. So when you run your finger across it, you know for damn sure it's a foldable device. Now, continuing on with the kind of the look and the hardware of the devices, look what OnePlus have managed to do with their phone in the first iteration of a OnePlus Open. It folds flat. It took Samsung 5 attempts to almost get it flat. See there? There's still that gap. It starts off narrower here and gets wider as you get to the hinge. With the OnePlus Open, it starts off flat and continues to stay flat. Now, this isn't a big deal. The Samsung Z Fold 5 actually is IPX8 water resistant. So, I mean, that is a good thing. Obviously, foldable phones hard to get dust resistance, but the OnePlus has that too. And then another little gripe about the design of each phone. The OnePlus Open comes in a glossy black green and a vegan leatherback black. The Z Fold 5 has only, and seems to will only ever come in glossy back finishes. Why will Samsung, after 5 years of a fold device, not bring a vegan leather back out? Because, try to be as subjective as possible, folks, you have to agree that the OnePlus Open looks far superior to the Z Fold 5. It just does. From the camera bump, to the vegan leather back, to the side rails, to the hinge, everything on this device is just superior. Lighter and thinner. Yes, the Z Fold 5 might look like it's going to be lighter because it's so narrow. It's 10 grams heavier, if not a little bit more, than the OnePlus Open. So design, build quality wise, call this whatever you want this round. Holding and looking at each of these devices, the OnePlus, for me, is the clear winner. Now, something else to discuss. Software. Samsung, for the longest time, has had the best software. And I still, to this day, believe that Samsung have the best software in One UI. It just is. It's clean. But with Oxygen OS on the OnePlus Open, this has been an absolute dream to use. From customization and the settings to all the special features, and more importantly, multitasking. So if I go into my mail app, let's use the taskbar and bring up something else. There we go. There's Chrome. And then let's bring up something else as well. You see that? You now have a canvas. And if you want to go up to the top, you've got two apps on one side and then the bigger app down the bottom. I love this. I absolutely think it's a dream. Comparable to the Z Fold 5. So where Samsung would typically always win this fingerprint's really annoying me, where Samsung would typically always win a software battle. So if I just go into Instagram here, I'm not even logged in on this device yet. Hold on, see, where's my taskbar? There it is. So let's bring up another app, side by side. And then let's bring up another app. And here's the issue. There's no canvas. You can't add a third app down below or to the side. All you can do is have two main apps and then add floating windows. Now, granted, you can have 2 or 3 floating windows, meaning 5 open at the one time, but being able to move between the 2 apps in the top and the one big one at the bottom, or the 3 apps side by side in the OnePlus, for me, is a better multitasking experience. Now, both of these devices support stylus support. Okay? The S Pen for the Samsung and the Oppo Pen for the OnePlus Open. But the stylus does not work on this shitty cover screen. The stylus on the OnePlus works on outer and inner screen. Why, after 5 years, remember 5 years, have Samsung not allowed you to use stylus on both the inner, let me come out of that, and outer screen? How is this possible? Well, to be honest, who would want to write notes or anything on this tiny little screen? But still, give us the functionality to do so. It's been 5 years of creating the same device over and over again. So that's how the devices look, feel, software, multitasking. I'm going to throw it back to myself and talk about the cameras. Now, the camera section, again, Recently, MKBHD done a blind camera test, and all of the 5 foldable phones that MKBHD included finished in the top 10, which is an outstanding result. But the OnePlus Open finished above the S23 Ultra, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's not just me giving this opinion, and I'll show you examples here just now. The OnePlus Open just has a better camera setup and a wider range of focal lengths, which therefore makes it more versatile. As you can see here, portrait mode, 1x, 2x, 3x on both devices. You can go 6x on the OnePlus Open. Same with the zoom. This isn't made up, this is from the same standing position. This is the max zoom on the Z Fold 5. Here's the max zoom, same standing position, as the OnePlus Open. 50 times max zoom, but let's be honest, you're most likely to use the 6x zoom, and this is optical, so again, photos look phenomenal. The Z Fold 5 does not have bad cameras, it's just had such a lack of updates and upgrades from Samsung for the past few years that it's fell behind. We need to see the 200 megapixel from the S24 Ultra on the Z Fold 6. We need to see a 50 megapixel ultra wide, a 10 times optical or at least 5 times optical zoom lens as well. You are paying an absolute premium for this device. It should have better cameras. Now you've seen how the phone looks and feels. Let's hear a bit about the speakers. Now I'm going to let you be the judge. You can let me know in the comments what you think is the best speaker. It's the OnePlus on the left and the Samsung on the right. Dual stereo sound on the Z Fold, triple stereo sound on the OnePlus Open. Have a listen. So before it gets all loud and crazy, hopefully you got a good hear of that so far. Here's the Z Fold. Not a bad sounding external speaker, but let the OnePlus reign. So there we go. As mentioned, you can cast your own opinions in the comments below. I know who I think's best. Now the last thing in this Versus I always like to talk about is the price. While both phones are not cheap, I am going to go with the MSRP here. No deals included or anything like that. The OnePlus Open, for its better specs, screen, speakers, cameras, is £150 cheaper in the UK. £1,599 for the OnePlus Open, £1,749, actually £1,899 for the half terabyte version, which is what you get in the OnePlus. It's a half terabyte with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Now, if you've stayed to the end of the video, you will be rewarded if you're in the market for a new device. My members, part of the WhatsApp group, which you can join here, have too many phones. They are like me. They have way too many phones. They have no use for them all, so they're looking to offload some. Off the top of my head, there's 2 Honor Magic V2s, a Mix Fold 3, a Z Fold 4, I also have a Pixel 8 Pro, my Z Fold 5. So I'm going to run through a few prices just now. Take notes if you're interested in buying a device. I'll talk about the ones I have for sale, and I'm going to talk about a few that the members have for sale as well. First up, this Z Fold 5. It's not a bad device, folks. It's just needing a Z Fold 6 update desperately. They need to widen it. Yeah, well, you know what they need to do, and I've made a video about that as well. But this Z Fold 5 only opened today for this video is £1,900 on the Samsung website, which is mental. I'm pleased to say I paid nothing like that. But a figure half price seems right. So yes, no word of a lie. First person to message me gets this half terabyte unused outside device for £950. DM me on Instagram if you're interested. Another device I have, which has rarely been outside, is just up here, and it's my Google Pixel 8 Pro with the official Bay Blue case. Now it's only 128GB, so that might put you off. I believe this is £1,050 on the Google website. All phones I sell are immaculate condition. This one, £650. That's £400 off, or £450 off if you include the cost of the case. Again, Instagram. Now, another device that I'm using and my SIM card has been dailying, and you have watched all of the reviews, the first impressions in your thousands. I appreciate it very, very much. The Nubia Z60 Ultra will be going, but this one will not go until probably in 2 weeks. I need to do comparisons between this and the S24 Ultra. So if you can wait, I will reward your patience with selling you my 256GB version for £600 even. I believe that's £100 to £150 off the retail price. I mentioned there was a Z Fold 4 for sale. Yes, you can pick up a very good condition. Here's some photos. Samsung Z Fold 4. And the cost? £450. Yep, you heard me correct. For the cost of a budget smartphone, you can have the Samsung Z Fold 4. DM me on Instagram. I also mentioned Honor Magic V2s. I have 2 of them in the members chat. Both, I believe, and you can correct me in the comments, but I believe they're both black, 256GB, pristine condition. Google Mobile Services has been updated to both devices, £850 per device. Yep, with the global version coming out for £1,500 next week, you could save yourself quite a hunk of change, especially knowing that Magic OS 8 will bring with it Android Auto and smartwatch connectivity. What's up, folks? I completely forgot to mention there is one more special device. A Huawei Mate X5 Collector's Edition 1TB. This is slightly pricier. This has been used like twice. Immaculate pristine condition. Again, more expensive. £1,850 shipped direct to you. Now, any other devices from the members, I'm going to update on the community page, so keep tabs on that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. The whole point of the members community is to do giveaways, but also to help people sell their Chinese imported phones. Anybody that's imported a phone knows if you're sitting with a Xiaomi 13 Ultra or 11 Ultra or whatever you may be sitting with, it's kind of hard to sell them on Gumtree. So I am hoping to be that conduit between you. And to clarify, I take zero money out of this. You cover it all. I just connect you with the buyers and that's it. I'm the middleman, but I don't take a cut. That is not why I do it. I'm here to help you and make content, which also hopefully helps you. So that's been it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you don't agree with my choice that the OnePlus Open is far superior to the Z Fold 5, then let me know in the comments. And until next time,